we have a pretty good idea. This whole off season, we've been around each other a lot, and we know how hard we work in the summer. So I think it's going to be a good time for us to get out there and show everybody how hard we've been working and how dedicated we are to Tennessee.
Julie said Friday having 2 days out in a row can just do tremendous things and help the body. How do you feel out as you get out?
I feel great. I got to go home and see my mom and get some home cooking, so that was awesome. Always good to see the family and just chill out.
We got the depth chart today was a little bit surprised for us to see Gerald inside. You guys know that this was coming. That's something you worked on.
Yeah, we worked on it a little bit at practice, just to see how he would play in there if something happens to where you have to play in there. We've gotten him some reps in there, and I think he's played well in there since we put him there. And that just helps us get our best four on the field at defensive lines. I think that helps us a lot.
Taking that well, it seemed like you had a good camp on the outside. Is that all right? Playing that way?
Yeah, man, he's done well in there, and he loves playing in there. And, he just said he wants to do what's best for the team. He knows that getting him on the field along with Montori and Malik, and that just helps us out a lot. And he's a team player for that.
Chris, you're in a situation in the same way, similar to the one starting out last year. You got a new coach. Everybody wants to see what this team is about. And you're opening against a team you're really supposed to beat bad. Now, last year it worked out 63 to whatever. Is there pressure on you guys this time against UT Martin to come out and really put a whipping on them? Anything less than that? Would there be people worried about this team?
I don't think so. I think it's just going to come down to us playing ball, and I think that's all we're worried about, coming out there and executing. If it happens that way, it happens that way. But I know that we're really focused on UT Martin. We know they're a good team. From just me watching film, they have pretty good players on the offensive end, and we're just excited about getting out there in Neyland Stadium for the first time and to see where it goes.
Chris, can you, looking back with Coach Fulmer and then with Coach Kiffin, could you tell much difference in those guys when you were preparing for, say, a game like this or preparing for Florida, Alabama?
I think they took it both the same way. They knew that we had to take it one game at a time, and I think some of that got lost the last former era. So I think that we've learned from that. I know as a team and as seniors, we've learned from not taking a game lightly, and I think that's the focus that we have right now going into UT Martin, and I think that's how we're going to work about it this week.
But you talked about maybe the 08 season where you think you did take some teams like that?
I think if you saw the game, everybody saw the game against Wyoming, we came out and didn't show very well. So that's just a prime example. If you're not ready to play, anybody in the country can beat you.
How do you think the defense will look different as opposed to last year?
Well, we're losing number 14 back there, so it's going to look a little different. But I think we have a bunch of guys that are going to be in there that can play well. It's always hard losing an All-American like Eric and first rounder like Dan, but I think we have guys that can come in and step up and make plays just like they do.
Do you see the scheme being a lot different, a little different?
It's just about the same, just a little bit different looks for certain people, but I think a bunch of it carries over from last year to this year, which is good for us because the learning curve is very small. So,
Is it more movement?
I wouldn't say more movement. It's just about the same, just different look that we give, a little bit different from last year.
From a player standpoint, what's a bigger adjustment, having 3 head coaches or 3 defensive coordinators?
I think 3 head coaches, just because, when you come to a college, when you're a freshman, you're looking forward to playing for the same coach for 4 years, and you get comfortable with the coach that brought you in. And then when they're not there, it's kind of like, well, now I got to be led by somebody differently. But with the defensive coordinator, they're going to give you a good scheme no matter what. So it's just up to you to get in there and play ball. But when you're led by somebody differently 3 times, it's kind of hard for you.
When you look back at last year and the year before in fall camp, do you feel, in comparison, are you more prepared coming out of fall camp than you were last year, less prepared?
I think all the coaches did a good job of getting us prepared in a different way. Coach Kiffin is a guy that he wanted us to focus on special teams a lot going into the season because he knew the importance of that. Coach Drew is the same way. He wanted us to focus on the small things that help us out in games, that help us win games. And if y'all guys are at practice a little bit, y'all can see how upset he gets about the small things. So I think we focused on that a lot.
Chris, you talked about going against the long throughout the camp. It seemed like a freshman right on the newest. Is he ready to start in this conference?
I think he's ready to start in this conference. During the spring, there was times where you could tell that he's supposed to be in high school right now, but going up against guys like Gerald and Malik when he got here, and me and Ben, I think he's gotten a lot more stronger with the scheme that he's in. He's coming to his own playing in the offensive line. I think that's helped him out a lot. I think he's going to be ready for the speed of the game. I think he's going to be ready for the strength of the game. So I think he did a good job of something.
Is he keeping you out of the backfield?
I don't know about all that, but he's doing a good job, man. I'm really proud of Juwan because he's a guy that I built a good relationship with, and I'm proud to see how much he's grown.
Chris, going back to last year, the Western Kentucky game, you guys really rolled in that game. Did that game help you at all, or did you win so easily that maybe it didn't help you, maybe even misled you some ways to how good you might be?
I think anytime you win a game like that, it gives you a big confidence boost, which is good going into games like we have against Oregon, against Florida, and going on the road. I think if we can get a good confidence boost, I think that'll be good for us. Just any team, if they get a good confidence boost, that can carry them a long way.
You mentioned James, what about some of the other young offensive linemen?
I was telling Gerald Williams the other day, I said I can't wait to come back in 2 or 3 years and see James Stone and Zach Fulton and those guys. I think Ja'Cory Schofield's going to be a great player, just to see how much he's grown since I've been here. Goes from, I think he's a redshirt freshman now and playing and starting in the SEC, so I think he's going to be a great player.
So Chris, you feel better about those offensive linemen than say you did going into spring or even after spring? You've seen them get better or potential there?
Yeah, I always knew that they had potential. It's always hard losing 5 offensive linemen. You're starting offensive linemen, but those guys have come in, they worked hard. They worked hard during the spring. They were together all summer, every day. I think they built the chemistry about them in their room, and I think it's going to be good for them, and I think they've grown a lot.